that it's just a window of opportunity. This is going to be something that's really going to change the whole concept of, and I'm not going to take away his thunder, but just weight loss alone. And he's going to talk about what it does if you Google ketones in other areas too. So with this, the opportunity, home-based business, with the price margin that we have on this, which is very affordable and everything, with the commission structure that they've used, this is something that would we say that this has ever happened in the last 30 years that you've seen?
We're excited.
Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and turn it on over to Rob Black. Rob, go ahead. Speaking of that, you can.
Okay. So you guys can hear me on there as well through this phone. I mean, you're picking me up, Michael.
Yes.
Okay, right on.
Do you want to sit over there so they can see you as the audience sees you?
Oh, I don't know that I need to be seen.
Well, the people on the internet are going to want to see you too.
However, I'm 40 pounds less seen than I was, a few months ago. So that's a good thing, right, guys?
Right.
Right. I think you both mics are on the phone or on the call here with us too. Michael Bell and Michael Rutherford. Both are key players in this company, and we've invited them to be with us. A lot of the introductory that we've done here with David has been awesome. I think he did a pretty darn good job of getting the word and what we have in front of us here and where we want to take this product. Both Michael and both Mikes we've got here tonight with us are definitely much more versed in a lot of the pros of what the ketones do and what ketosis does to the body. One of the things that was impressive to me was how much third-party evidence there is on our product. Literally, type in just about anything you want with the ketosis space, Alzheimer's, ketosis space, inflammation, ketosis space, high blood pressure. And the list goes on. You create what it is you're looking for and put ketosis in front of it and challenge yourself on a Google search. Just see what's really out there and research and what you're looking for. I was introduced as Michael Bell is who gave me a phone call and introduced the product to me. I had already been on a somewhat of a desire to have some discipline to start losing some weight, but I kind of tapped out. So I was looking, I really was, because I knew that I was carrying a few extra pounds that I needed and wanted to get rid of them. And when I heard the story about the ketones and the evidence that goes on and on and on, it just got exciting. So that, of course, I love the home-based industry with the referral marketing concept side of it. So with that, I jumped in and finding more and more benefits all the time. Michael Bell, you want to throw in a little bit, and then Michael take a little bit more on the how comes and whys.
All right, can you guys hear me okay?
We are.
Make sure they can hear.
Awesome, awesome. Well, how many people, Rob, how many people are kind of versed so far of what we have that's watching or that's on the call?
How many people watch the video? Okay.
Oh, we've got a pretty good raise of hands here.
Okay, so they all pretty much know.
Hey, Bill, I can't hear you on the conference call, by the way.
Say that one more time, Mike.
Yeah.
I can only hear you on the webinar, not on the conference call.
Right now.
I might be muted. Well, sorry, guys, technology here. We're on both of them. Can you hear me now? I was muted there on my phone.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, guys, well, oh, man, I got to take this off. I'm hearing myself again. I'm just going to go through. I'm going to mute on the. I'm hearing myself twice, guys, because I'm on both the conference call and the Hangout here. Okay, can you hear me now, Mike? Okay, cool. All right, yeah. With this conversation, coming from the internet space, and that's where I make my living, and I get the pleasure to actually get to hide behind this computer here and make a living here. But I get a lot of things coming across my desk all the time, and it's pretty much a lot of them are the same old, the same conversation. There's nothing unique. There's nothing exciting. There's nothing that really gets me excited about a product until really this came across when Michael Rutherford and the owner Brian Underwood, invited us out to California to look at this and everything. And I had no idea what ketosis was, guys. I turned 40 actually the 14th of this month. I've been a fairly healthy guy all through my life because I played sports and stayed in shape. But honestly, I had no idea what it was. And just because of respect I have for Michael Rutherford and Brian, I flew out to California to really look at this technology and this formulation, what we're going to ready to share with you. And when we get out there, I saw the caliber of people, the professionals that were out there, not just your typical networkers or anything like that, like from pro athletes to bodybuilders to soccer, pro soccer players to medical professionals to fitness personalities, coaches, trainers, whatnot. I was kind of blown away, and then we started doing the research on this. And then I kind of, when they started talking about Atkins, I kind of remembered what it was, kind of more weight loss. And then, we did more research on this while we were there, and they were telling us all this stuff, and it just literally blew my mind. So kind of like Rob, I wanted to go back and do my research. Mike and I were doing that because we wanted to see exactly, the power in this, the third-party content, or third-party validations of all the medical institutions and all the universities that's doing studies on ketones, and we were literally blown away. But Mike, I'll turn it over to you so we can kind of go back and forth on this, so you can kind of give a bigger picture on this, okay?
For sure, I'm happy to be on. Hopefully, y'all can hear me okay. I get reverb talking into both calls, but I just won't listen to my earpiece. Let's see. How about this? Can y'all hear me okay? Hey, Rob Black, throw me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me on the Hangout and on the call. Okay, cool. Well, I think there's two words y'all ought to write down, and they're important to me because I've never had them in any product that I've ever sold, which is evidence and proof. It's kind of hard to argue evidence, and there's not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to flat out proof. And when you have a product that can be proven in the marketplace, there's not a lot of sales involved. Like, people don't sell very well. Most people can't sell, and they don't like to sell, and people don't like to be sold, but boy, do they like to buy. I mean, people like to buy stuff like it's going out of style, but if you have a product that doesn't require selling it, and people always say this, don't sell, share. But when you have a product that can be proven with evidence and proof, I mean, we called the darn company Pruvit because we can prove it works. I mean, I had a guy I was talking to, and he goes, man, the fact that you can prove that it works is awesome. And then he goes, wait a minute, is that why you called the company Pruvit? And I said, hello, yes, that's why we called it Pruvit. I can't take any credit for anything other than, sharing it with Mike and Mike sharing it with you guys, and, some of that stuff. Together we can build something pretty wild and big and fun. But the story of Pruvit is more than just what meets the eye. I mean, it's really two conversations taking place at once, which is it's a branding conversation to where, Rob Black, if you told me I want to make $50,000 a month in network marketing, I'd look you square in your eye and say, prove it. And if you said, I want to lose 40 pounds, I'd say, prove it. And if you said, I want to be a better dad, I want to be a leader at my church, I want to build my community, I'd say, prove it, prove it, prove it. Don't talk about it, Rob. Be about it, dude. And if, if David Pollard said, hey, Michael, I want to help my community. I want to help young people learn about nutrition. I want to help my parents, retire with dignity. I would say, well, Rob, what are you doing about it? Or David, what are you doing about it? What are you proving? And the whole idea of Prove It is about an internal challenge, because we believe God gave you enough energy, enough fuel, enough intelligence. You've got enough inside of you already, natively built into your DNA, to be the best you can be. And most people never tap into that. Most people never reach their potential because of a bunch of reasons. Maybe they don't have the right environment pushing them forward or elevating them forward. Maybe they don't have the right education or background or community to plug into. Maybe they just don't have the right products that are going to pull the best of them out of themselves. And we believe that everybody on this call or that's going to see this hangout or get introduced to our company, we believe they've got natively built into them greatness that they don't even know is there. And they've got this unlocked fuel source called ketones that because of the Western diet, they can't unlock. You know, everybody watching this call or listening to this call has got calories attached to their behind right now. I don't know who just walked into the screen, but they've got a certain amount of calories on their body. You know, some of them are carrying them on their arms, their necks, their bellies, their booties. You know, their physical bodies have, every person watching this, you've got a certain amount of calories that you carry around all day. Think of it like a car that's just overflowing with gasoline, but you can't use the gas, so you keep filling up your gas tank every time you drive by a gas station. That's what people do. Their bodies have enough fuel, but because you're filling them with glucose throughout the day, you can't tap into the ketones, which are your body's own fuel, your body's body fat. I was 44 pounds heavier 3 months ago than I am today. 44. Rob, you've done some similar numbers, right? Guess what? The average human walks around with thousands of calories, tens of thousands of dollars worth of groceries attached to their body that they can't even access because of their high carb and sugar diet. So our product helps people tap into their own body for fuel source. It helps people reduce some of their cravings for carbs and sugars. There's no mystery in what makes or helps somebody lose weight. It's burn more calories than you bring in, but it's not that easy. We're addicted to carbs and sugars as a country. As a country, people, the diabetes numbers are going out of control. Children with diabetes, children that are obese. I mean, oh my goodness. It doesn't take a long time for you to get excited and radically committed to wanting to make a big impact in the country when you just look around at all these people, myself included 3 months ago, that just need an education about what nutrition is really about. Now, our product's just mind-blowing. For those of you that have had it, it's the silver bullet. I had a lady right now who's a physician. She's a practicing doctor down in Florida. She's been in the pharmacy business for 20 years. She goes, Michael, you guys have the silver bullet product. I go, why do you say that? And she goes, because it kills everything. And I'm like, well, that's pretty exciting. I go, give me a for instance. I know because I've had the product for 3 months and I've been losing weight on it every day. Rob has, Mike Beal has, a lot of people on this call have. And for those of you that haven't, I'm sorry, be patient, it's coming. But she was talking about being a silver bullet product because there's a lot of weight loss products out there. But what else do those products do? They do nothing more than suppress your appetite and make it so you're not hungry and you don't eat. Visalis was a big company. Still kind of is. What was that product? It was a 90-calorie shake that if you drink it twice a day, you'll reduce your caloric daily intake by probably 2/3. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know if you starve yourself, you'll lose weight over time, right? But raise your hand if you want to starve yourself. Nobody. I want to eat real food, and I certainly don't want to take shakes for the rest of my life. So what we've created is a powder. You mix it with water, and it gives you the benefits of ketones without the starvation diet. If somebody said, what's your product? I would say it's ketosis without the diet. It's the benefits of ketones without the starvation, deprivation, no carb, no sugar diet. And holler at me if the audio and everything is okay. You guys all right? Okay. So it's the ability to get the benefits of ketones, which can only be found by cutting all your carbs and cutting all your sugars and increasing your fat intake. Your body naturally, as a defense mechanism, will produce ketones. Our product will give you ketones in 30 minutes. I mean, you could take our product and you'll have ketones in your body in 30 to 60 minutes. You guys all right? I got a busy. I can hear a busy tone on the conference call. So whoever's running the conference call.
Yeah, I muted them over here because they're getting major feedback. It's kind of tough doing both of these at the same time.
That's all right. So somebody that's on the line has got a busy signal.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me still on the conference call though? Well, hey, let's keep rolling. If they can hear us, it's annoying with the dings, but let's go for it. Cool. Well, we'll go for it. It's okay. Hey, we got to be flexible. But so if somebody said, "What's the product?" I'd say it's a product that'll give you instantaneous ketones, and they'd go, "What's a ketone?" And then I would ask them, "Have you ever seen the television show Survivor?" Survivor is where they put those people on a deserted island and they try to survive over the course of a couple weeks or a couple months or whatever. And then I ask them, "What usually happens to those people's weight?" And they go, "They get real skinny." And I go, "Why?" And they go, "Because they don't have any food." And then I go, "Well, if you don't have any food for a month, how don't you die?" And they go, "Well, your body starts eating its own body fat for fuel." And I play stupid, right? I just play like I don't know. And I go, "Well, how don't you die if you don't have any food?" And then they go, "Well, your body eats its own body fat for fuel." And I say, "Well, do you know what that's called?" And I go, "It's called ketosis." That's what it is. It's your body converting its own body fat for fuel. And I go, our product gives you the benefits of ketosis without starving yourself. And then every time their eyes go, "Oh my goodness, how'd you get that?" We were in Boise, Idaho, filming some testimonial footage with a marketing partner of ours. We get into our cab, or our Uber. We go to an Airbnb, which is a rental house, to stay. My business partner and I, Dustin, we're checking into the house. The lady says, I said, "Mate, tell me if you've got a basketball or tennis rackets for your basketball court and your tennis court." And she says, "I do, but I couldn't tell you where they are because I hurt my back and I haven't played tennis in a month." And my partner, who's a physical therapist, goes, "Well, what'd you do to your back? I could see that you were limping." And she says, "Oh, I this and I that, and I put on 25 pounds." And 5 minutes later, she's signing up for Pruvit and Keto OS on my laptop once we got into the rental house. And she's so excited about our product because she did Atkins 20 years ago, lost 50 pounds, and has since put it all back on because it's hard to do the diet. Dustin looked her in the face and said, "If there was a product that you could drink every day and it tasted like a creamsicle and it cost about as much as a sugary Starbucks or a pint of Haagen-Dazs, but it gave you the benefits of ketones without the diet, do you think that would sell?" And she looked at him and said, "Oh my gosh, tell me you have that product." And we signed her up on the computer on the spot. We took a sample out. We mixed it up for her. She drank it, and that was it. The next afternoon, we get in a Uber from the Airbnb to drive to where we were filming. And holler at me if y'all can hear me okay. Still a little thumbs up. We get in the Uber. The guy that's driving us asks us what we're doing in Boise. I tell him that we've just launched a health and wellness product. It's the world's first ketone supplement. And when you drink it, it gives you therapeutic ketones at a cellular level without the diet. He looks over at me with this astonished look on his face, and he says, "Is it like Atkins?" I said, "It's similar to Atkins, but without the diet, we give you the ketones." And he goes, "When's the company launch?" I said, "We're here to film some of the material to launch the company to the public in about a few weeks or a couple months." And he goes, "Is it for sale now?" And I said, "I'm down 44 pounds on the product already." And I showed him my before and after picture. He opens up his shirt and he shows me a defibrillator that he's got on his shirt because he's had heart surgery, he had a heart attack, his wife's a breast cancer survivor, his son's got he just goes down the line, and all of them are overweight. And he goes, "Are you telling me that if I drink your product every day, I'm going to have the benefits of ketones without changing my diet?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Are you telling me if I do change some of my diet, increase my fats, and decrease my carbs and sugars, it'll accelerate my weight loss, my mental clarity, my body's inflammation, all these other things?" I said, "Exactly. That's exactly what it does." So we've just been I know I'm rambling and kind of telling some stories, but we've just had a full-blown blast explaining our brand, which is to get better. It's to be healthier. It's to feel better. It's to have more energy. It's to be nutritious. It's to be knowledgeable what it means to be healthy. It's to do all those things. But our product is designed to change people from the inside out. Literally change their biochemistry from an inside-out perspective, which is what ketones do, because the whole world's addicted to carbs and sugars, and it's what makes everybody sluggish, tired, sore, and overweight. And ketones do the opposite. They make them skinny, energized, mentally clear, confident, and happy. That's what ketones do. So as a business person, nobody you know has ever heard of this product. Everybody that you know will want to taste it, and the majority of them will want to buy it, join, and tell all their friends. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Tell me if some of that made some sense. Ask me any questions you have. I'm just happy to be on.
Hey, Rob, are you guys muted there? I can't tell.
Stevia. It's stevia, which is a natural sweetener. There's the two primary ingredients that make it do what it does are BHB salt, which stands for beta hydroxybutyrate, and MCT oil, which stands for medium chain triglyceride. So you can Google both of those, and you'll be very happy with what you read. There's a lot of data, content, research, white papers, and clinical information about both of those ingredients for weight loss, for mental clarity, for increased cognitive functionality, the reduction in inflammation, all kinds of really, really cool stuff. Weight loss is sort of the least important. I know people want to lose weight, but it's not the least of their worries. But the inflammation and the pain in their knees is what keeps them up at night. The weight for me was the first thing I wanted to experience, but the energy and the mental clarity and focus is what really, really gets me excited personally, because as an entrepreneur, I'm just functioning at a much higher level. I can multitask better. I don't forget things. I can articulate my thoughts at a higher level. I mean, those are hard to illustrate on a picture on your Facebook page, or to tell that that you're having those by looking at somebody. But the weight loss part of it is definitely very attractive. But that BHB salt and MCT oil are the main ingredients that make it do what it does. The stevia, the orange flavoring, that's all just natural products or natural ingredients to make the product palatable, make it able to be consumed. But that's what's been really exciting is people love the taste of the product. It's clean. It's not dirty. There's nothing toxic, nothing artificial. There's nothing synthetic in the product at all. It's all very, very natural and clean. We have one product. That's it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so the only option is caffeinated or non, and there is no difference except one has caffeine and one does not. I prefer the caffeine. I have a lot of my partners that prefer the non-caffeine, but that's, if I asked everyone in that room, do you like caffeine, half of you would say yes, half of you would say no. See, she just shook her head no. She doesn't like caffeine. Some people do, some people don't. I got a buddy of mine who lives in Arizona. He goes, Michael, I hate coffee. And he goes, but I love Diet Coke. So he drinks 2 or 3 or 4 Diet Cokes every day. So everybody's a little different. So we have options, caffeine or no caffeine. And the only difference is the caffeine will uptick to your brain faster, and it'll just give you a little bit more of a zing, but it won't make you jittery. Somebody goes, well, how do I know which to choose? And I go, well, do you like caffeine? She goes, no. I go, well, get the caffeine. Get the caffeine free. And then I said, if you like caffeine, get the caffeine. It just depends on the person. But that's it at this time. We do have additional flavors that we were going to go live with, but we felt like the less options, the better. Most people like orange. Not everybody does. We have a raspberry flavor that we were going to open up day one, but we'll reserve to do a little later. But generally speaking, the only choices you have are caffeine or non, and individually packaged or put in a canister. Those are really the only differences or the options that anybody has. And our VIP package is either caffeine or not, and you get some in a canister and some in the individual packages. And then as we get closer to opening up our full ecosystem and going into our second phase and our third phase, we'll have some product extensions that might bleed into the coffee industry or the tea industry, or might bleed into the workout or protein drink or meal replacement drink marketplace. But at the moment, we're very focused on our product as a singular product. in simple, 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 simple. Because everybody that's listening knows, simple wins, difficult and complicated loses. And if we can keep it simple and say, here's what the product does, here's what it costs, and here's what you get paid when somebody buys it, then you got a business that'll grow and grow and grow and grow. Mike, you know the name of it, right? You know how to pronounce it, don't you? Mike Beal?
Sorry, yes, it's caffeine hydrous. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, the reason they're not getting the jitters, one of the best parts.
Let me mute my side mic because it's getting it's bad.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. Hey, we're getting our money's worth doing the hangout and the call together. But the reason is because the energy is coming from the ketones. The ketones themselves are an energy source. They're a fuel source. So if you think about, let's say you're going to go jog, or you're going to go play tennis, or you're going to just get up and start your day. If you don't eat or drink anything, you're going to be very sluggish and very tired and very cranky. I don't know about you guys, but I become a real big jerk about 10 in the morning if I haven't eaten and drinking something, to the point where my wife used to have an alarm on her phone that would go off at 10, and it said, "Feed Michael." I don't know what that says about me, but that's not a joke. That's not the case anymore because I'm managing my energy more efficiently now. Most people have got a lot of fuel in their own body that they just can't tap into it. Their diet prohibits them from tapping into their own body fuel. In other words, imagine if your car was a hybrid, like you had a Prius, but the only way for you to turn on the electric motor is if you ran it out of gasoline entirely. Hybrid cars don't work that way. You can just flip a switch, turn on the electric on and off anytime you want. The human body doesn't work that way. The human body will only produce ketones in the absence of carbs and sugar. So what our product does is gives you the ketones at a cellular level, basically exogenous ketones, which means we're putting them in your body. Your body's not producing them. And it's the first time in history that that's ever been able to be done. So think of our product as a fourth macronutrient. Think of it more like fuel or food. I think of our product like a log, and the body is a fire. And you're going to burn the log just like a fire would burn the log for fuel. Once you burn the log and it's gone, the fuel is gone. So I've had people ask me, if I don't have weight to lose, why would I take your product? And I said, well, what do you take before you go to the gym, or before you go running or jogging or playing soccer, or whatever it is that you do, before you go to work, before you go on an interview, or whatever it is that you do, or before you get up and try to chase your kids around if you're a mom? How do you do that? How do you stay fueled? And he's like, oh, I eat this and I drink this. And I said, our product is those things. It's a fuel source. It's got a caloric value. It's going to give you more energy than most of the things that you've ever eaten in your life. And the reason the product doesn't give people jitters and things is because it's not a ton of caffeine. It's also not a type of caffeine that's going to give you nasty jitters. And the real energy, the real sustainable energy that somebody's getting is actually the ketones as a fuel source. And I know that's hard to sort of understand without having it, but once you drink it, you'll look over at whoever gave it to you 20 minutes later and go, what the heck is in this? And you go, I hope it's healthy because it sure feels good. But that's what ketones are. Ketones are a fuel source. I have a buddy that calls it his rocket fuel. He just feels better, more energized and clear on the product than when he's not on the product. And one uniqueness about ketones, there's products out there like ADHD medications or cannabis and things like that that are used as a way to treat people with mental challenges or brain problems, dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that, seizures. They've been using all of these different depressants because what they do is they chill out your brain almost like a windshield wiper. But the problem is they also relax the whole body. So a lot of people that have ADD or ADHD or any of these types of things that require these drugs is that they feel like they're a zombie. Physically, they're not energized. But then if you ask people who need stimulants, physical, they need energy, that when they drink a Red Bull or whatever these kinds of stimulant products that are out there, that people take for energy, they also create what's the word I'm looking for? They create chaos in the human brain. In other words, there's very few products that'll energize your body and give your brain mental clarity. That's what ketones do. So we had a golfer, think about this, I'm going to give you a visual experience. So we had a professional golfer take our product, played golf, and he said it was weird because I had energy, my body was physically strong, but my mind was mentally clear. And he goes, most of the products and things he would use to get energy cause his brain to be real scattery. And he goes, and most of the things he takes to chill out his brain take away energy from his body. He goes, so the product gives them both at the same time, mental clarity and physical energy. So I know that's a long darn answer, but that's one of the benefits to ketones that you just won't know until you experience it, where you feel energized, but you feel focused. Does that make sense? Good question. So I got 3 answers for you. Yeah, there is, but it depends on the person. How many of you have cravings late at night? Like before you go to bed, you're reaching for some ice cream, you're reaching for, I crave food late at night. That's me. Some people have carb and sugar issues at nighttime, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. They're reaching for some snacks. They're rooting through the fridge. Some people, they're overweight because of their nighttime activities. It's what they do at night that gets them every time. So I take our product at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I just had it a couple of hours ago. It's a powder. You mix it with water and you drink it. It tastes awesome. I take mine at 3 or 4 at night. My brother goes to the gym at 7 in the morning before he goes to his mortgage office. So he takes the product at 6:30 in the morning on the way to the gym, and that's the only time he takes it. So he uses it as a fuel source before he goes to the gym, and it also gives him some energy and mental clarity throughout his work day. But by the nighttime hours, it's well worn off for him because he used it during the gym. Now, he doesn't have the nighttime sugar cravings like I do. He needs it for energy during the day. It just depends. Everybody's different. We've got people that take the non-caffeinated version at night because they sleep better on the product. It gives them clarity in their mind to go to sleep, which sounds kind of crazy because it is a heck of an energy source, but every person's a little different. I think that's one thing that's really cool about the product is you can kind of use it for different things. Energy, mental clarity, weight loss. One of the things, too, most people don't lose weight because they don't sleep very well. And when you don't sleep very well, your body's not in the most preferred state of mind. There's some more technical dialogue to describe this experience. But all your levels and your numbers get out of whack when you don't sleep very well. Your body is in a state of stress, and it won't lose weight. It holds on to the fat as a defense mechanism. So people that don't sleep very well also are usually overweight. So one of the cool things about the product is it helps you manage your energy better. You efficiently use your fuel better. And because you can do that, most people sleep better on the product. So timing-wise, when do you take it? Depends on the person. My mom mixes up a full dose first thing in the morning when she leaves. She walks dogs in the most expensive neighborhood in Southern California, Rancho Santa Fe. So she walks these really expensive dogs of these very, very wealthy families for a living. So she's walking dogs all day long, starts at 7 in the morning. So she starts her Keto OS at 7 in a 24-ounce bottle of water and just sips on it all day long. She's still sipping on it at 7 at night. So she just drinks it throughout the day. So she never really has one big pop of energy. She just has a steady stream. They just have a steady stream of energy throughout the day. Let's see. Generally speaking, the product is safe for anybody and everybody, regardless of age or health, generally speaking. I would tell you, partially because we're on a group call and because it's the smart thing to do, you should definitely consult your doctor if you got any challenges or things that you think you want to check out. If you're on any particular, and you already know this as being in the industry for a long time, If you have somebody that's diabetic or somebody that's significantly overweight, on meds, whatever else it might be, you definitely want them to work with their doctor while taking the product. Because if they do lose 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds, chances are the meds they're on, they might reduce. And if they do, they want to definitely involve their doctor. I wouldn't give them advice on the product. I wouldn't pretend to play doctor. I'm not doing that now. I can tell you from a pregnancy perspective, a nursing mom perspective, ketones are very safe. I would probably encourage them to do the non-caffeine version for obvious reasons. I would probably encourage them to start slow, which would maybe be do a quarter of a dose, a half of a dose, and inch their way into it. I can give you some communication from some people that you can talk to that are either A, nursing and using the product, or B, pregnant and using the product. They're fine. One of them is a weight loss doctor. She runs a weight loss clinic in Vegas. She's 6 or 7 months pregnant and takes the product every day. She goes, what's the alternative? Drink a Diet Coke or drink some sort of stimulant to keep me focused and busy while I'm trying to run a company and be pregnant? And then I've got a lot of other moms that are nursing moms that this is their answer to the desire and the need to have energy to chase their kids around the house. So she goes, short of making a pot of coffee or tea or something like that, this is giving them energy in a healthy, safe fashion. None of the products are synthetic or harmful. They're all pretty natural. And you can actually YouTube or Google search ketones, breast milk, newborn babies, a lot of that stuff. Babies are born in a state of ketosis. So, again, I would take your time. I wouldn't play doctor with people that ask these questions, and I would have them consult their doctors. Between you and us, however many are on the phone, most of the doctors have absolutely no clue how any of this stuff works. But a little bit of research online, and they can get pretty confident with what's possible. But what else? We have a Facebook group that you can get in and kind of look around and see what people are saying about their success and their stories on the product. But generally speaking, there's some pretty exciting benefits and responses and feedback from people on the product that might be diabetic, they might be on insulin, they might be taking other blood pressure meds and things like that. But you just have to be careful about what you talk about with those people, because you absolutely do not want to get into the, well, he told me that I could do this and, and that. Again, I'm not doing that now, but I can tell you there's been some unbelievable stories from people getting on our product. It instantly changes their cravings. It instantly changes what they think they want to eat and drink. It instantly brings down their blood sugar. It reduces their body fat. It's a natural diuretic. I mean, there's all kinds of really, really cool things that it'll do for people, and it happens pretty fast, that they need to employ the counsel of their physicians or doctors or wellness people to make sure that they don't get too aggressive too fast. The only other side effect, and I'll take a breath for a moment, is GI issues, which most people are not fat adapted, which means the enzymes in their stomachs don't work. They're asleep. In other words, if you haven't eaten a high-fat diet, most people actually eat a low-fat diet and a high-carb and sugar diet without even knowing it. Oatmeals, yogurts, bagels, milks, juices, you name it, are just loaded with carbs and sugars, not to mention the pastas, the pizzas, all this kind of stuff. Half the stuff people eat, they don't even know has carbs and sugar in it. So they're eating a low-fat, high-protein, high-fat, high-carb, or a low-fat, high-protein, high-carb and sugar diet, which means the enzymes in their gut, the ability for the body to break down and synthesize fat is actually dormant. So they need to inch their way into the product. So if you're just now getting your product or just now signing up, take your time. I'd start with a quarter or half a dose and see how it treats you. I've had some guy goes, Michael, your product gave me the runs. And I go, no, your body's inability to break down fat gave you the runs. It's kind of like saying you drink 5 Diet Cokes a day and you stopped drinking Diet Coke and started drinking water, and the water gave you a headache. No, the water didn't give you a headache. The lack of Diet Coke gave you the headache. So there's a little bit of a transition phase for people whose bodies do not synthesize fat very well, but that just means that your body really needed some tweaking. That just means you need a new fuel source. So most bodies can handle it fine, especially if they just inch their way in. But that would happen if they started eating coconut oil or anything else. You just got to get used to synthesizing fat. A couple days, 3 days, 4 days, and you're fine. But yeah, I think that's about it. What else? What else? Give me something hard. You don't get downs, but you definitely can tell the difference. It's kind of like if you drink water and then don't drink. If you drink water all day and then you go 2 days without any water, you're going to be thirsty. You're going to need some water. So I've had some people go, well, how long do you take the product? I go, I don't know. You tell me, how long do you plan on eating food and drinking water? And they go, well, the rest of my life. And I go, well, I hope people from an entrepreneur perspective take the product forever. But I just know a lot of people that use supplements and take products, they're using them because their bodies and their diets are deficient in some way. That's why our product's so powerful, because not one of you is currently sitting in a state of ketosis, which means your body is fueling itself from ketones. Rob, maybe you are, don't know. Most people are not. Most people's bodies haven't produced ketones ever because they've never gone more than 6 hours without carbs or sugar. So unless they cut them for days and days and days, you'll never know what it's like to be powered by ketones. It's kind of like driving around in a hybrid car and the electric motor is just in the trunk, disabled, unable to be used. Meanwhile, you keep filling up with gasoline at $5 a gallon. It's dirty. It doesn't work very well. It's inefficient. That's like glucose. It's not what your brain prefers. Just Google, what does your brain and your heart prefer, ketones or glucose? It'll tell you ketones, but most people have none. So they may reduce the dosage. They may go in and out of ketosis based on their goals. But I can tell you, I lost all the weight I want to lose. I'm down 44 pounds. I'm as skinny as I've ever been in my adult life, and I feel like a kid again. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop the product. Heck, I might start taking more of it. Not because I need weight loss, because I want to gain some muscles, I want to be mentally clear, and I want to function as an entrepreneur super, super high level. And for me, that's what the product does for me now. At first, it was about weight loss. Now it's about other things. What else? Give me something hard, man. Give me something I can't answer. Correct. Well, if they're doing the caffeine version, if they cut all the caffeine, then they might wean off of that caffeine, but that's going to be with any kind of caffeine. I would suggest people that are not caffeine drinkers to do the non-caffeine. If you're a caffeinated person, you drink it all the time, then I would do the caffeine product because it's going to help them, give them it's going to rock them a little bit better, because a lot of people are used to, forgive the example, but if somebody drinks Jack Daniels all day long, and then you hand them a Bud Light, that ain't going to do very much for them. Again, forgive the example, but if people are drinking caffeine all day long, they're probably going to want our caffeine product. But some people actually don't handle caffeine very well. Some people are not caffeine adapted or caffeine friendly, but they drink it anyways because they don't know. So, those are some of the only things, and I think most people can kind of wean onto the product and wean off of the product based on what they're trying to do. It depends on where they are. It depends on what stage in their weight loss or what stage in their health they are. I can tell you that there's as much benefit for this product for the healthiest, most energized person in the room as there is for the most out of shape, unhealthy, can't get up and down the stairs person in the room. I mean, I can tell you, my knees hurt like crazy trying to bounce my newborn baby to sleep, and it was awful. Then because my knees hurt, I hunched over, which made my back hurt, and because my back hurt, I couldn't put Stella to sleep very easily, and because I couldn't put her to sleep very easily, it took me a long time, which made me sweat, which made me uncomfortable. Now, I just knock her out in 2 seconds because I got endurance, energy, and my body's clean. My body is working well. So, it depends on the person, though. No, I would say you might stop at 4, but you'd probably have to take 20 to have any issues with it, or 50. I mean, you'd have to take an entire canister to exceed what you might want to take. I would say 4 doses in a day is about where I would go. But if you could consume 4, you wouldn't eat for 3 days. I mean, I'm just telling you, if I have 1, I'm not even hungry. keep in mind, one of my friends goes, well, you got to eat food. And I said, why? And he goes, I don't know. Well, you need to. I go, do me a favor, grab both of your thighs right below your butt cheeks. Forgive my language. You feel all that? That's energy. That's like gasoline for your body. But because you eat so much, you're never tapping into that body fat. Body fat is some of the best fuel you'll ever have. Our ancestors 10,000 years ago lived 90% of their life on their own body fat. And then when they had a hunt and they could kill an animal, they would eat the whole thing, bulk up, and then for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, they would live off their own body fat until they had another animal that they could kill to get more food. That was the paleo man. Today, we're the opposite. We're in a Wendy's and Starbucks every 2 to 4 hours. So, short answer, 1 or 2 doses ought to get you going pretty darn good. Unless you're literally playing in the World Cup, you might want to take a couple more, but... Yes. Nice. One a day. That's the average dose. One a day. I just looked at my phone, then I looked up, and there's a whole house full of people over there I hadn't seen. Nice to see you. I, uh, hey, it's definitely not, and yeah, Mike takes 2. Correct. Yeah, I agree with you, and I think we had a great chat about that last night, which is, look, let's just look at every weight loss company that's ever existed in network marketing ever. What was it? It was I mean, there's a huge company that had BMWs and big checks on stage. Maybe you're familiar with it. Started with a V and ended with an S. Maybe you're not. Maybe give me a head nod if you know what I'm talking about. They did $800 million 2 years ago, and their product costs about $1 to manufacture, and every ingredient in it you could get down the street to Walmart, wherever it is that y'all are, in Eagle or Meridian or Boise or whatever city y'all are sitting in. But I mean, every ingredient in their product you can get for $1 down the street. Not to knock that company, a couple good people over there, and there's a lot of other companies out there, but their products do nothing more than fill your body with fillers so you're not hungry. And if you don't eat, I mean, I could chew off your couch and spend the next 30 days just eating the cushions of that couch y'all are sitting on right now, and I might not get a lot of nutrition out of it, but I would sure lose some weight over the next 30 days. That's what most weight loss products are. They do nothing more than starve you, but trick your body into thinking that you're not hungry. So over a period of time, you lose weight. But the problem is you lose muscle. Your body will eat its own muscle before it'll eat its own body fat. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that. But your body will eat its own muscle before it'll eat its own fat. It's easier to break down muscle than it is fat. But in ketosis, your body will eat its own fat before its muscle, which is awesome. That's what you want. So what's been really exciting for this conversation, Rob, like you said, is it's not just about selling products. That's what everybody's done. I was on telephone with a network marketer the other day. I thought he was kidding. And he said, Michael, I'm not trying to become a darn biology and dietitian teacher. And I go, well, what are you trying to do? Just get rich, or are you trying to help people? And he goes, well, both, I guess. And I go, well, how do you help people if you don't know anything? Like, if you don't know anything about how to help anybody get healthy or lose weight, if you're nothing more than a product salesperson, every person that joins your team might lose some pounds, but if you didn't teach them anything, they're just going to put all the weight back on. Because nobody wants to drink. Raise your hand if you want to drink 2 shakes a day for the rest of your life. I don't. I certainly don't. I don't mind drinking a tasty beverage or a tasty elixir that tastes like a melted popsicle once a day and learning how to master the kitchen. Most people think weight loss is done in a gym or on a soccer field or something. Weight loss is done in the kitchen. Now, our product's going to give you a heck of a boost. It's going to give you a heck of an advantage. It's going to ignite desires in your body for good, tasty, nutritious food that you didn't even know existed, and you certainly didn't think it was healthy, like butter, avocado, bacon. I mean, tell somebody you lost weight and the 3 things you ate the most were bacon, butter, and cheese, and see what they say to you. They'll go, there's no way in the world. And you go, I'll show you what I eat for breakfast. And you show them 2 or 3 eggs covered in bacon, butter, cheese, and hot sauce. And they'll look at you and go, there's no way. And you go, well, guess what I'm eating now? I got a cup of coffee with a hunk of butter in it and some coconut oil. And they go, what? Your heart is going to explode. And you go, quite the contrary, my friend. And it's just about empowering people and giving them a foundation and an education of what real food is. It's not a low-fat, low-calorie diet, starve yourself sort of program. It's increase your fats, decrease your carbs and sugars, watch your grains, watch your pastas, watch the ice creams, cookies, cakes, and pies, the obvious ones, but then also watch the tricky ones like, sugary creams and stuff in your coffee, or sugar in your coffee, or orange juice, or yogurt, or bagels, or things like that, or even milk. Milk is loaded with carbs and sugar, and most people don't even know it. So just raise some awareness about what healthy people are eating, and it doesn't need to be hard. It can actually be really fun. So the product's going to alter their desires. Most people think they like macaroni and cheese. They don't. They're addicted to it. Most people think they like pepperoni pizza and ice cream and soda. They're addicted to it. Sugar's a drug. It's the biggest drug in the world. Every one of us is hooked on it. And people are in denial like they're not. But go 30 days without your favorite food and then have it and tell me if you still like it like you thought you liked it. So to me, this part of the dialogue is as important to a new person in your business as knowing how to take the product or why to take the product. You know, there's all these different components. I think there's 3. And Rob, you and I talked about this last night. The product, the community, which is us, you, everybody listening, the camaraderie and the fellowship that can be gained through a community and collaboration, and an education. If somebody doesn't learn stuff from you, you shouldn't be able to make any money off of them. That's my opinion. Just because you sold somebody a sign-up doesn't mean you should have been able to cash the check. You ought to be able to teach them something and make the value worth the money. And to me, if we build a community of people that can empower and educate one another about what it means to be healthy and what real food is, then good grief, you ought to be able to make as much money as you could fathom making. As much as you want to work, you ought to be able to make money. So I just think that's a little different than most of the network marketing companies, at least that I've been a part of. I don't know about you guys, but if people really got educated and knew how to eat, they'd never put the weight back on. But why is it that every 2 to 3 years there's a new weight loss MLM coming out? Everybody signs up, everybody loses weight for 2 weeks, everybody puts it back on, and then they go sign up in the new one. And it's just this vicious cycle, and now people are cynical about diets and weight loss because they feel like they don't work, but they've never really built the foundation and the building blocks. So I feel like I'm rambling. I hope some of this is making sense, but to me, that's crucial. Go for it. Good question. So that's what happens with every company on earth. Once you stop the product, you put the weight on. So that last 10-minute ramble I just hit you with about education, fundamentals, foundation, knowledge, kitchen, diet, ingredients, how to shop, what to buy, how to cook, how to eat. That to me is as important as our product. The truth is we can build a big business and have no product. That's between me and everybody listening. I think we could build a big business with no product. Because at the end of the day, products fail people because you can't take them for the rest of your life. Nobody wants to take pills and powders and shakes and drinks for the rest of their life. I mean, every day, all day. People need to learn how to eat. And if you teach them how to eat and take our product, the product's going to give them some flexibility with their diet to not have to just eat rabbit food for a living. But I think as big of a part of this product is, and Rob and I talked about this last night, is if you educate them, you should be able to lose 5 to 7 pounds right now before our product even shows up to the house, assuming you have weight to lose. If you don't, you should feel better and have more energy before our product even gets there because of what we can teach you in 5 minutes about what you should and shouldn't eat tomorrow morning. So to me, if they learn what it means to live a dual fuel lifestyle, which is to be powered by ketones and glucose, they should never put weight on ever, unless that's what they're trying to do. Which is different than most products. Most products, as soon as you stop taking them, bam, you balloon back up. But here, we're going to teach you how not to do that.
Unmute myself here. No, I was okay. You can hear me? No, I was saying Mike was talking about if you guys stop taking the product, right? Why would someone put the weight on? But just as important, guys, about the weight is how you feel, the neuroprotectant, the energy levels that you have. How you really feel while you're on the product, right? That's what I love. I lost 20 pounds, but I wake up in the morning and can't wait to take the product because how it makes me feel. Like you can think better, you feel better. That's what I love after the weight came off and I can maintain and all that. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Good question. Okay, so if you haven't noticed by now, I never do short answers. I always give you a story. But I'm going to give you the short answer first. So I'd buy now because we are back ordered. And I would figure out whoever's got some product or whoever's about to get some product, and y'all figure out how to sort of lend to one another. So until the new person who joins today gets their product in a week or two can replenish their coffers. That's what I'm doing in San Diego. I just had somebody bring me 20 samples back today because they got theirs today. They ordered a couple weeks ago. So our whole philosophy as a company is to be understated. So if you want to know the truth, this is the first live hangout Pruvit has ever done, and y'all are on it right now. We've never done one. This is the first. Congratulations. I love the enthusiasm. We've not done one. Doesn't mean we don't have quite a bit of people in the community. We've just been very understated. We've been taking our time. We've been building this grassroots. Look, y'all know the networking game, right? You get in early, you blow it out, and it grows, and you capitalize on momentum and duplication, and it builds. We hadn't even tapped into that yet. We haven't done one opportunity call. This is the first, I guess, opportunity hangout I've even done. Mike's done. We haven't done a meeting. We don't even have a thank God y'all didn't want to see a PowerPoint because I don't have a PowerPoint. We haven't even made one yet. We don't have a slide deck. We don't have a pitch deck. We don't have a published compensation plan. I can tell you what the plan is, and I can send you the document, but we haven't published it. We've only got one aspect of our rewards plan open, and we've just been taking our time to where we don't get ahead of ourselves. Now, we still have, and what I mean by that is we came out day one with our video on our website and said we have limited inventory. This preview phase is a private invitation-only preview phase because we want to under-promise and over-deliver, not over-promise and under-deliver, which is pretty common in our industry. I think you'd agree. So what we wanted to do is not hype. We didn't want to do any hype. We didn't want to do any red carpet rollouts, flyouts, you know, big old network marketing sort of launches. We wanted to be subtle, understated, and strategic. So we came out, we opened, Mike joined, I joined, several of us enrolled. We introduced a handful of our friends, and we started. So we were doing 5 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day, 30 a day, now 100, 150 people a day. So it's grown very, very organically, very naturally, very grassroots, which is what we've wanted. So we came out knowing we'd be short on inventory before we went live with our phase 2, which we're calling our public preview. This is the direct answer to your question, by the way. We're about 7, 10, 12 days behind at the moment. So somebody that enrolls today, it'll ship in 7 to 10 days. And ships out of Dallas, so it'll just come straight up the highway to y'all in Salt Lake, so not very long. By this time next week, we will have shipped every single person who's purchased up until the 17th, which currently, just between us on the phone, there's about 1,300 orders that have gone in that are all back ordered at the moment. But that's exciting. So all those people are all going to get their product next week. All those orders, maybe some of you are them, I don't know. But all those orders are all being shipped out of Dallas. Those people will get their products. They'll get 75 servings of the product. They'll get a 30 serving canister, and they'll get 45 individually packaged sachets, these little sample packs. That's $350. That breaks down to about $4 and some change a day on our product. When you refer what we call a VIP, you make $120. So if you're sitting there as a person with a guest, and that guest enrolls for $350, you make $120. We pay a $30 level 2 override and a $15 level 3 override. I like how everybody grabbed their pens and wrote down the money. $350 to join, $120 paid to the sponsor, $30 to the level 2, and then $15 to the level 3. And then I'll just give you a little bit of more beyond that. We have a 6th generation or a 6th level unilevel in the back end for the residual. We have some very attractive matching bonuses. We have some fast start bonuses. We have a car bonus. We have a whole, I would consider it to be a very robust plan. I'll just keep it simple at that. Inventory-wise, I had a friend of mine 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, tell me he was going to buy the product. I told him to just prove it. And he goes, no, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I said, well, prove it. Buy it. Don't talk to me. I'm losing weight over here. What are you doing? Gaining? Let's lose, man. So he doesn't buy the product. I see him 2-3 weeks later at church. I've lost another 15 pounds. I'm down to 44. And he looks at me and he shakes his head and goes, I can't believe I didn't buy that product. I go, well, if you would have, you'd already be down 10 pounds. Now we're 2 weeks behind on shipping, so you better hurry up and get your order in. Has he ordered? No. He still hasn't. So I said, every day you don't order, you get farther behind in the waiting room to get your product. So we're a couple weeks away from catching up, maybe 10 days away from catching up all those orders that have been back ordered. Now we ship every day. People have been getting product every day. But we're just catching up. We're playing a little bit of a cat and mouse game with inventory, but we're not surprised by that. We told everybody that. And this whole private preview isn't a retail customer game. It's more of a business builder game. And look, if you want to partner with us and be the first person in Salt Lake to go tell people about ketone supplementation like this product, you can deal with a little bit of growing pains, but that's good. We're a handful of weeks away from having about $5 million worth of inventory, which by then we can do a lot of business. And then we get a few million in inventory every 3 or 4 weeks. So infrastructurally, we're very sound, we're very funded, and we're very organized. At the moment, it might not appear that way. But we have a lot of inventory en route, being processed, being boxed, and being shipped every day. Long answer, I know. Uh, 8 weeks. Yes. We will open up we'll open up our entire ecosystem. You won't like my date because I'm not going to give you a date. I'm going to give you a loose time frame, but it's just because everything we're doing is based on a strategy. The strategy is we want to open up the ecosystem. I mean, I can tell you right now that I think our customer acquisition approach is going to blow people's minds. We have a refer to, and yours is free. So if your neighbor wants to use the product for 15 days, get a 2-week supply or a 30-day supply, she can refer 2 friends and her product is free. So refer to and yours is free. We have a sampling system on our website that'll go live here in the coming weeks. So if somebody doesn't want to buy a VIP pack and spend a few $100 or even buy a month's supply, they can buy a 3-day sample pack. The sample pack will come with ketone urine strips. It'll come with 3 samples of our product, and then we'll deliver educational marketing to them while they're waiting for their product and when they get their product, so they know what it is that they're getting a sample of. And then that sample is nothing more than the sort of nail in the coffin, forgive the language or the example, to get them to purchase or join your business. So there's a lot of that process and business systems that we're finalizing as we speak. So just for safe math or safe dates, I'd say by September we ought to have a lot of the ecosystem wide open. Some of it will turn on in a week or 2. Some of it will turn on in 3 or 4 weeks. Canada is part of that, by the way. We're looking at getting into Western Europe, Canada, and Mexico, in short order. Canada very, very quickly. We have listen to this, we have a wholesale plan. So if you have a friend who's a massage therapist, a doctor, a chiropractor, a golf instructor, a weight loss clinic owner, a physician, a trainer, anybody who engages with a lot of customers, they can bulk buy our product at a discount, mark it up, and sell it retail through their practice or through their clinic. And because our product is so darn good, you can go get somebody that runs a medical facility or a wellness clinic or a gym, a spa, a salon. Go get the ladies at the beauty salon, you girls. Go get the ladies at the beauty salon handing out samples to all the women when they come in and get their hair cut and colored and styled. And as they're sitting there getting their hair dried, sitting under the blower, they look over at their stylist and say, "What did you give me to drink?" And she looks at her and says, "Pure therapeutic ketones, honey." And she goes, "Well, I don't know what's in this thing, but I sure need some." And then you sign them up on a canister on the way out the door. So, oh, of course, come on. If it wasn't, would I talk about it? Oh, no. Heck no, I don't want to ship them. Corporate's going to ship them for you right out of the warehouse. You got 3 options. You've got $75, which is a 15-day supply, which is fully qualify you. You got a 30-serving canister for 126, and you got a 30-serving individually packaged sachets for 144. That's correct. So that'll go on during phase 1. Once we open up phase 2, the VIP prototype pack will go away. That SKU will go away. We'll have a cheaper SKU and a more expensive SKU. We'll have the ability to add product into your original purchase, like an additional 50 pack or 100 pack or 200 pack. That might sound crazy, but if you're already in the business, you already know how valuable some samples are, because those samples just work. I mean, they just flat out work. But you know, I would say we got another good 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks of the VIP phase, which ranks somebody higher in the plan and makes them a VIP with us versus somebody coming in just once we get started. It is. Short answer is there's not. And Mike, you might know more. You might know a little bit on that too. You know, you want the can't talk. You want to know the truth? We haven't even told anybody what they get as a VIP. Shortly before we open up phase 2, we're going to come out and get aggressive and tell everybody what VIP even means, and do a very big promotion driving sales into our second phase by establishing exactly what VIP gets them. So I think that's pretty funny, actually. Some people are like, well, I need to know what I got. They just get a higher rank in the plan, which one of the benefits to that is double fast starts, which as a VIP we're all getting now. As a non-VIP later, you'll have to qualify for those. If you, well, I would sponsor your wife if I were you. I would sponsor your dog or something so you can get more of your own product. um, you can. We don't have rules against that. Yes. Maybe not my non-funny jokes. I don't think those are printed on paper, but for the most part, or my long drawn-out stories, I don't think those are printed. But all the data, the numbers, yes, everything's printed. We can get you quite a bit of it, as well as the eating protocol. What do you eat? How do you do it? How do you take the product? There's probably more information than you would want to read, but that's what's good, is there's a lot of information. There's a lot of data. There's a lot of supporting details. And we just have to get that over to whoever wants to disseminate it out to everybody. And we can do that. Oh, that's my favorite question. So I had a friend of mine join Sunday. She enrolled 3 friends Sunday. She got paid on Friday for all 3 signups. 5 days later. We pay fast starts weekly, we pay residual monthly, and we're looking at doing daily pay, but that'll be something that we open up during our second phase. Hey, I'll sell them to you. I'm just kidding. Hey, I'll give them to you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think it's definitely recorded. I can send it to you. We have some additional ones that are shorter in length, and you know, can kind of dive into them. And we could do more of these. You know what my favorite thing is? Every time y'all pan the camera, there's more people there. I'm the most underdressed. I'm literally wearing a T-shirt from Target and sitting in my bedroom because my baby's asleep in the living room. Oh, but yeah. Oh, I'm just getting started. Let's get them. Hey, let's do it.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a couple thoughts. First of all, thanks for having me. I'm really excited, and I'm thrilled to be sharing. I know Mike is with everybody. So thanks to the Davids, thanks to Rob, thanks to Mike. Second thing is I had told, I don't remember if it was Pollard or Rob or Crookston or who it was. We're doing the very first get together. It's a workshop in San Diego. Don't post this online because I haven't announced it yet, but it's the 7th and the 8th of August. The very first time any of the executives and leaders of the company are getting together. Our advisory board is getting together. Some of the doctors and the trainers that represent our product who are flat out experts on this topic and this product are all going to speak. It's not a rah-rah meeting. It's a very detailed, specific, high-level workshop about our product and about our business and company. In other words, there's a lot of meat and potatoes there, or I should say meat and buttery, cheesy broccoli there, because I don't eat potatoes anymore. So there's gonna be a lot of fatty steak covered in butter and coconut oil there. That's Friday evening and then Saturday. So the 7th and the 8th of August. So I can't remember who I said it to, but if some of y'all come to that, tickets are like $20. They're going to go up for sale tonight or tomorrow. If some of you can come down for that, it'll be limited seating. There's only like 100, 150 seats. It's not a company event. It's a local San Diego event supported by the company. If some of y'all come to that, I hope you all do. I hope you rent a van and come down there like it's a missionary trip or something. But come down, have a blast, learn a bunch of stuff, meet some really cool people. And then after that, we'll follow that up a week or two later. I'll come up to wherever y'all want me to, Salt Lake, Boise, Eagle, Mount Zion. I mean, we'll go wherever. And we'll I'll meet you at Arches National Park, and we'll meet there at Devil's Punch Bowl or whatever, and we'll do the meeting there. But y'all come here, I'll come up there. Whenever you think we should, and you can fill a room, and we can all make a bunch of money and help a bunch of people get skinny and healthy. San Diego's Friday, Saturday, and then what y'all might do is head back home, take a week to build, and in the following week have an event. Because by then we'll be able to throttle this thing down, and we'll be able to bring in the hundreds. I mean, you can get as aggressive as you want now. You just have to frame it the right way. You have to let people know where we are. Okay, cool. Sounds good to me. Yeah, minimum of 250 people. I'm just kidding. Doesn't matter to me. Off the top of my head, it doesn't matter to me. I better check with my boss. As soon as I put the registration link up, I will send them to you. Yes. Yes. So
Right.
how many people are not signed up yet? Well, get the Get the laptops out and start signing up. See you guys later.
Yep. Thanks, guys. It was an honor.
See y'all.